Thank you, Cathaoirleach. Well, firstly, I'd like to welcome the Ambassador of Slovenia to the Chamber, and indeed I visited the country on many occasions and attended a number of conferences for the ELDR, the European Liberal Democratic Reform Group, in Ljubljana, and it is a truly beautiful city. And the country is a truly beautiful, beautiful country. And I'm delighted that you're here, and you're most welcome. Today, Leader, I want to raise the issue in relation. Firstly, I want to welcome the government's announcement yesterday for the scheme ACRES. And ACRES stands for the Agricultural, Climate, Rural, Environmental Scheme. So, and it's a nice name actually, ACRES, and I presume they decided on ACRES and then tied in the names to it, but it's good, and you can quote it quickly. Initially, having looked at it yesterday, I was particularly pleased because it was the government's commitment focusing on climate, but how it relates to agriculture, rural environment, and how we can reward farmers. And I think we know, and we've all said this across the House and recognise this, that farmers and their representative bodies are absolutely committed to playing their role in terms of the environmental protection. And yes, they may need some financial assistance, and they'll certainly need additional skills and training and supports. But this morning, a number of the farm representative bodies issued statements saying they were grossly unhappy with the scheme, and it appears now that sort of larger commercial farmers appear to be excluded. So I think there may be a need for some maybe work on it in terms of the communication of the scheme. Now, it was only yesterday, to be fair to the Minister and to the Department, and they're fiercely committed. But you know, when major farm organisations are coming out within a few hours saying that they feel left out and the lack of consultation and comparisons with other schemes. So I think it's important that it may be around the communication of the scheme, and I just want to feed that into you. And I know that members of the Senate who are involved in agriculture and on the Agricultural Committee will be aware of these statements too, so I've no doubt it'll come up at various parliamentary party meetings. The other issue I want to raise here today, Leader, with you is the issue of the general scheme for the remediation of dwellings damaged by defective concrete blocks. And this is a very, very controversial area, and we have not, or there's been no final decision in relation to a PLS in relation to this very, very comprehensive legislation, and this, of course, is presenting some possible problems. And I don't want to comment in too much detail other than say it is a fact that we do not have plans for a pre-legislative scrutiny of this bill, and there are some concerns, and I would share those concerns. But what I do want to say and tell the House is that there are a series of 8 hours of meetings tomorrow by the Joint Oireachtas Committee on Housing, Planning and Heritage dealing with this issue. And the first meetings will be in relation to the remediation of the dwellings, and they will be between 1 and 3 o'clock tomorrow, and they will deal with Micro Action Group from Donegal, the Clare Pyrite Action Group and the Mayo Pyrite Action Group, and followed by then at 3:30 to 5:30 we will have the Chartered Surveyors in, we'll have the representatives from Engineers Ireland, and of course the chair of the Expert Working Group. And then after that, if that wasn't enough to keep us all going, from 6 to 8 we will have people and officials from the department in. So there's going to be very extensive 8 hours of engagement in relation to that, and I think that's important for people who represent those communities, but everyone in the country, that they're aware that tomorrow, and as politicians, of course, they're always welcome, but people can go online and see this going to be a very lively and active debate tomorrow. And maybe from this, it might become more obvious that there's a real requirement for PLS. But this is a huge issue. In fairness to the government, they've taken it on. It's very difficult to please everyone, but we've got to get the thing over the line. We've got to get the legislation over the line, and we've got to help people rebuild their homes and rebuild their lives and get on with it. It is a terrible, terrible thing to be living in a house that's crumbling in front of you. So I just want to draw that issue to the members' attention that tomorrow, for 8 hours, we will be in committee discussing these issues. Thank you.